I'm Bryn Christie, and on this episode of Couch Co-op, the guest is John Patrick Kelly, and they talk about Assassin's Creed. And then we have a Not a Gamer review with our very own Monty Wolf. So, let's get to it!
Couch Co-op! Couch Co-op! Couch Co-op!
Welcome to Couch Co-op. I'm Ian,
I'm Jared.
and episode 3 on our epic new season. We got 50 more views this last episode.
Yeah, we're doing way better than the end of season 1, so that's wonderful. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, thank you. And please, if you watched, please subscribe. And if you subscribe, please share and get other people to subscribe because we really need that viewership. And let's just forget about season 1. That never happened.
Well, like most great TV shows, everybody says, don't watch season 1, just start at 2.
Yeah, you should clearly not watch season 1.
So, yeah, you can take that advice on our show.
Right, I think,
yeah?
Yes.
Okay, there's some fun,
even as a producer,
funny stuff in there.
Yeah, maybe I should do
you have to dig through a lot of turds.
I should do like a best of show.
Yeah,
for season
you should.
1.
Just
That'd be
collaborate
kinda
the 10 minutes of good stuff.
Yeah, right. All right, so we'll see you after this.
Hi, I'm Brother Shipley, and this is SIM-Similarities. On this segment, we discuss the difference between a real car and a simulated car in a video game. This week, we're going to discuss the Hyundai Genesis. It is a 3.8 liter, 6-speed rear-wheel drive coupe sports car that averages 300 brake horsepower. Let's get to the review. In order to heighten our experience, we have recreated the Genesis in Gran Turismo 6 as close as possible. This particular car is a boyish yellow that screams, "Hi, I am a boy." We could go on and on about aesthetics, but Gran Turismo pretty much has it covered for this car. Let's get into handling and the operation of the vehicle. The Hyundai shifts smoothly and it glides along. There's nothing like going from gear to gear. But when I picked up the controller, it was like when I first fondled myself. I had no control. It's like I didn't know whether to go up or down. But I digress. Let's cover some quick points. In real life, it sounds good, it looks good, it feels good, it drives good. In the game, does it cover all those points? Not completely. After driving this car in real life, would I buy it in the game? No. I'm Brother Shipley, and this is SIM-Similarities.
Welcome back. Jared and I are now joined by our good friend JPK.
Hello.
John Patrick Kelly. You may have seen him on what episodes were you on in the first season? Just
Grand Theft Auto
Grand
stuff.
Theft Auto.
Yes.
And then some of the random just mess episodes towards the end.
I think I was the first part of the 4-parter series season finale.
And he's been on several of our podcasts. Three times.
3 times.
Yeah, he's a repeat customer.
A menage a trois.
Yeah.
As I like to say. Yeah, right.
And he listens to us in bed.
Without pants on.
Without pants.
I mean, there's some underwear.
There's some underwear. What does that even mean?
We're not here for that.
Yeah, we don't need those details.
So I wanted to do an episode, I've been wanting to do an episode on Assassin's Creed and just kind of talking about the franchise and the series. So when I put it out, I was like, who's played all these games? And no one of us have played every single one of them. But John had played a good number of them, and Jared had played a decent number of them, and I've played a decent number of them. So I thought, all right, well, I think that can quantify us as being somewhat experts at this game. Even though
expert is a very lax term.
I went to night school for this game.
For this game.
Took a class on Assassin's Creed.
So, Jared, which games of this series have you played?
I have only played, my first one was Assassin's Creed Brotherhood with Ezio. and then I played Assassin's Creed 3. That was with Connor.
Yes.
And then Assassin's Creed 4.
With Kenway.
With Kenway, yeah.
And John, what have you played?
I've played 1, 2, and all the Ezio saga, and then I've played the third one, and I haven't played the fourth one, and I haven't played any of the PSP or mobile gaming stuff.
Right, I've played 1, 2, 3, and 4. I played the proper series, I guess.
Oh, the numerals.
You're going numerals. I've done the numerals. I haven't broken off into any of the trilogies or the Vita stuff, but I've played the proper.
Does that mean Unity? That's not a number. Are you going to skip that one?
See, this is an interesting thing. This is another reason. One of the reasons I wanted to do this episode is like Unity looks really interesting to me. Even with kind of the negative backlash that Ubisoft got for that game because you can't play as a woman.
I don't like the name of it.
But it's kind of, Borderlands Assassin's Creed. Come on, I'm kind of interested in seeing what that looks like. And it looks really cool, and the amount of people in the world looks crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm interested, but I'll probably wait for it to come down in price. It's probably not going to be a game that I get right out the door. I learned, I'll just start off, I guess. With one, I played with a friend. He bought a PS3 early adopter, and he got that first Assassin's Creed. The second one I got for super dirt cheap for like $5 on PSN. The third one I said, all right, fine, I'm gonna buy it first day.
Yeah, me too.
And I got it, and then because of that one, I will never buy an Assassin's because I think that's like. Maybe if I had bought Assassin's Creed, all of them at the first day, maybe I would just be let down. Because I don't think... Well, I think they're great games and you learn great historical facts about the games.
Oh, I'd say that with...
Loosely. But you learn things about, ships and... Not like the characters are
George
historically
Washington
accurate.
Was a real person.
Yeah, right.
He totally was.
No, but it's cool. The clothing and everything. That kind of stuff is kind of cool. I don't think it's a very good and tight game. I still don't think it's a very good, tight game.
Well, you and Jared have well established yourselves as budget gamers, too.
Right, but there's certain games that I enjoy. I will buy out the gate.
I'm surprised about the Assassin's Creed 3.
Assassin's Creed 3, I think we both bought it out the gate, and I was like, I'm never going to buy this game.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it much after we played it. We're just okay, we're done finally.
I just didn't like it. And then,
I liked the kind of twist they did in the... first third of the game, so that was nice.
So let's start with the first one. Jared hasn't played the first one. You and I have. So that first game, what you can remember from playing that.
Well, I bought the collector's edition, and I bought it before I even had an Xbox.
Oh wow!
That's how much
you
I
really
wanted.
You were
wanted
ramped for this game.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And but I remember because the big thing was the twist at the beginning is Altair isn't the main character. The main character is actually Desmond.
Right.
But it's kind of one of those things where it's supposed to be a twist, but everybody knows about. They gave it away before launch, so and which I don't appreciate stuff like that because it just kind of it's less powerful, I guess, or less surprising.
Right.
And but I remember that was a big deal with my friends. They thought they were just oh my god, he's not even the main character, even though you play him through the whole game. So it's arguable.
So what did the collector's edition include? What did you get with that?
You got a little Altair figurine, an art book, and that. Oh, I got another thing I got for the game. Remember the Xbox skins they used to do?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
where
the
you
faceplate,
the faceplate, and the stickers.
Yeah.
I got one of those.
Oh jeez, I never did that.
So what? Because I thought the game when they first teased that game, it's this is gonna be awesome. This is cool. You get to run around and you're an assassin, and I mean, what was the game like for you when playing it? Just
I
the
thought it was
gameplay.
really fun. I thought the combat was really unique. I mean, because the whole swashbuckling type of combat or sword fighting, it's been done before, but I actually feel like this was the first time it was a real fight. Mm. Doing simple combos, the counterattacks, and even how to me how satisfying, brutal they were. When you snap a guy's neck and you just hear that soft crunch of his neck go. I was like, yes.
So that game obviously, brings in a lot of the things we know from Assassin's Creed. The sinking when you climb to a tall building, or the diving into a haystack. Obviously the targets you have to assassinate, and then it has this parkour stuff. And this is where I think the parkour was never tight. I still don't believe it's that tight. I feel like you still run through a world, and you're trying to chase after somebody, and you hit a wall, and then you're I don't know where you are. You're just not where you want to be. It is so aggravating, Jared. I mean, even past 1 into 2, I don't think they ever fixed this. I still don't think they've really fixed this, but talk about that.
That's even still an issue in the 4th one. But I didn't do as many of the chase segments because I didn't do as many of the mini quests or anything like that, so I wasn't chasing a lot of stuff around, so I dissuaded myself from actually going through that frustration.
I feel like they put a lot less in the 4th one.
Yeah, I think they did. I mean, there was still like chasing the pages and all that kind of crap. You know, that can be frustrating to get the songs and all that. But for the most part, you know, you tried it second time and you got it. Mm-hmm. But I still hate the fact that I am this well-built character that can climb buildings, and then there's this 300-pound dude doing the exact same thing I am and running half the time faster than I am. You know, I wish they added a little bit of a different physicality kind of a restraint on some of these characters, because I always thought that was funny. You know, you're chasing this big round guy around and you can't even catch him.
So we were talking earlier about how you like the first one more than the second one, I think. And I think the first one, I feel like the missions are really redundant. Like, it's a lot of the same, and I feel like the story is better in the second one. And I feel like it just seems like a better polished game, and I think that's why I like it more than the first one. I think that's why a lot of people like it more than the first one.
Yeah, you know, I just remember having like a better experience with the first one than I did with the second one. Mm-hmm. And I haven't played the second one since, the last time I completed it. Right. So I'd be interested, because when I was playing, because another example I can relate to is Mass Effect. The first Mass Effect, people didn't like the tank because they were like, oh, it just bounces around too much. And I thought it was really fun because balancing was like loose. And then when I played the first Mass Effect probably a year or two ago, then I was like, oh, this is terrible. This thing is so not like... So I finally understood what people were talking about. So I would be interested if I was to go back and play Assassin's Creed 2 and then play Assassin's Creed 1, if I would still hold up and have the same judgment, or if I would say, oh, Assassin's Creed 2 is a superior game.
So then this is where Ubisoft decides to like create a trilogy off of 2. Yeah. And so in the second one of the second game, the second part of the trilogy, they introduce online. And this is where Jared starts playing the games, right? Or Brotherhood?
Brotherhood.
And so I haven't played it. Did you play that one?
Yeah.
So tell me about
I didn't play online.
You didn't play
really?
online?
No, I've never been much of a multiplayer, like deathmatch kind of a guy, and I don't know.
But just talk about the game then. What did that game strike you as when you first played it?
I really enjoyed the world that they created. Wandering around the Colosseum, that was awesome. That's probably the main part that stands out in my head, was actually just exploring the Colosseum. You can climb all the way up it and jump from pillar to pillar on the rubbish that's left from even that period of time. Right. It wasn't the most sound structure. I don't even remember what decade it took place in. It was 1700 something.
Right. What about you, John?
Brotherhood?
Yeah. Or just any of the revelations. Just talk about that kind of like...
Yeah, I did enjoy the whole Ezio saga, but I think the fact that, with Assassin's Creed, they can take license with any time period, I think it would have been... It's cool. The games were good, but at the same time, I think it would have been better if they went from one time period to another. Because if they came out with Assassin's Creed that was during feudal Japan with samurais,
right?
I'd be in. And I'm super stoked. I haven't played Assassin's Creed 4, but I love it that they're doing pirates. Because I'm a big fan of pirate games, but there's not that many. I don't even know if there's a handful.
There are. Pirate. We did a whole episode on that.
Yeah, there's more PC ones than console stuff.
So one thing that I dislike about what happens with that trilogy is that this is where Ubisoft begins their yearly Assassin's Creed turnout. Do we really need we do Assassin's Creed 2, and then we do another year, we have Brotherhood, and then another year we have Revelations, and then the year after that we have 3, and then 3 just comes out and they've announced Black Flag. It's like, and then Unity. I mean, when did Black Flag come out? Like December? Or November of last year? October maybe? I don't know.
About a month.
I think October.
And like Unity was just announced back at before E3? Just
slightly
slightly before.
before.
I mean, man, they just want to kill, and then they just want to slam us. So it's like, regardless of the game, it's like, why not spend? I have this opinion of like, why not spend more time and polish your mechanics? The things that frustrate me and won't get me to spend $60 on a game. Why not fix that stuff?
But I disagree because
You think it's that good?
I think all the titles that they've just rolled out year after year, I would agree with you more if it was something like Call of Duty, where the campaign, over time the campaign has become less and less because they've realized that people just enjoy it for the multiplayer. So we'll just spend the majority of the time on the multiplayer, which at this point I just think they should just come out, why not just come out with Call of Duty multiplayer and then just release maps for the next 10 years or something like that.
But it's still just basically the same game. You're wearing still same kind of clothing. You're doing the same kind of things.
Different costumes and weapons.
Oh my god! But at least in Black Flag, they totally take the idea of the boat that was in 3, and then they totally expand on it in 4. I mean, it's this hugely different thing. So, and they give you a lot more stuff to do. But I still feel like 3 is a lot. Just because you're in the woods now, you still look like the same dude. You still do the same stuff. It's not, and you still do it poorly.
Then, I mean, they added
poorly.
Crafting, trading, the ship stuff, recruiting.
Yeah, but it's not like it's done well. Is what I'm saying. It's like you could argue Call of Duty, but like Call of Duty's mechanics are tight, and they change the balance on them from game to game. So like the game doesn't change very much. But I'm saying like the gameplay in Assassin's Creed, it's not good. Like it's 75%. Why not make it 100% like a Call of Duty? Why is Call of Duty?
I think that's the difference between you and me though, because to me the mechanics are. I've had that experience definitely where you're chasing somebody or you want to jump to something.
I've never
and then he's just obsessed. Your character's obsessed with this one wall.
You're right. You're right, and that's one example. But I'm also saying an example like there's examples in like Assassin's Creed 3 where like there's just like textures are missing or the sound drops out. I've never had a Call of Duty game glitch out on me. The ones I've played, I've never had them glitch out on me. I've had Battlefield glitch out on me.
Yeah.
But I guess that's why doesn't Ubisoft just spend some extra time? Why do they need it yearly? I guess that's my argument. I don't know.
And that's another difference. I don't really pay attention to texture pop-in and sound issues. I mean, it's just because I'm just more engrossed in the game, I guess, and it doesn't bug me. I mean,
but how could you be more engrossed when you're walking and just doing no legs? It's like, oh, look at that.
I just think that's
there's some really cool
more funny,
videos.
but it doesn't. I'm not going I spent $60 and this guy doesn't have any legs. I'm not like that at all. I mean, I just kind of take it as is.
I think my least favorite part of most of the games is the battle system.
It's not as good as Batman. It's like a Batman battle system, but it's not as good.
It was the idea that Batman took from it and made it better.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's always been my least favorite. I love the stealth part, you can sneak around, but when you accidentally get detected or there's 15 guys surrounding you, it's just a disaster, and I don't like the feel of it. Just
imagine how fluid, if they spent more time to work on the fluidity, like in the Batman games, like how you can just constantly kill people. Like you could have 50 guys on you in Batman, and you feel like you're Batman. In Assassin's Creed, I feel like, it breaks, and you're like, and now you're screwed, or...
Dude, you can't twirl that hard. You're gonna...
can't...
He's gonna impale himself on the sword.
How old are you? No. So, I guess my only other negative criticism is that whole Animus, Desmond, or whoever...
Yeah.
I don't like the
bullshit.
Animus.
Yeah. Why could...
I like the idea that you presented to me a couple weeks ago on that.
The one where it just crashes and he's stuck in it.
He's stuck in the Animus for a couple of games.
And no longer, you don't have to experience it anymore. Because it's let's see, it's from 1 through the trilogy, it's or through 3 too, it's you're a third person, you're doing kind of the same stuff, but the textures look worse, and it's an ugly looking game. And then in Black Flag, they change it to this really shoddy first person thing.
It's very shiny and polished, but
it doesn't look good. It's like the Team Z did it, It's you have all these different teams, and this is the worst team got it, and it's just Like,
But the basic idea behind the Animus in the fourth one, I kind of dug because they made it like this huge thing where these characters that are going
Right.
into the Animus are making these huge cinematic events
Right.
that they script.
well,
You know,
supposedly
movies
it's more
off
so.
of, and-
That's what
yeah,
they're
I mean they're
fronting.
trying to make
Right.
a bigger front for the Animus versus just this big company that's trying to
But
take down
the
the
stuff you
Templars
do
and
is
blah,
stupid.
blah,
You
blah.
just do these really stupid puzzles, and you kind of it's so.
All the puzzles on the computer. I think they would have been more intriguing if you could have done like a second screen with your tablet or something and do the little mini games if you wanted to.
What would you say is your favorite from the series so far that you've played?
I would say probably 3 but the big thing that made it for me was the ship battles.
Yeah.
And
You have to play 4 because it's so much better.
Oh,
Yeah.
4 is amazing.
that's what I hear.
That's
But I mean,
obviously
for
my
just
answer.
being not a big part of the game, and for that, like, it's almost like in a way they kind of just like, yeah, let's just do it. You know, it wasn't. This doesn't seem like a serious
It's
idea.
a bigger part of the game in 4.
But it didn't seem like a serious idea. But at the same time, they did such a great job compared to other pirate games where the whole thing is, yeah, we're gonna sail around and fight, and they just do an awful job. So that's why.
turn-based battles.
Yeah, that's why I think it's so impressive about how it seemed more like a second thought, and they succeeded so well with it.
And Jared's is obviously 4.
Yeah, 4 was amazing. I got to play that. I borrowed it from Jason, so I got to play it on the PS4. So I took a few screenshots, but I don't know. I'm pretty terrible at that, so it wasn't anything to show off. But I loved the game, and the character was actually interesting.
Yeah,
and I cared for the character
Right.
and what was actually happening to him. Whereas I don't know, Ezio, he was kind of an ass in my opinion.
Kind of.
So I didn't really like him.
Same with Connor, really.
Yeah, Connor. He had his own mission, and he was very hard-headed.
Right.
In 3, but Kenway in 4, you know, that guy was rock solid. He had fun. He had, you know,
More
his actual
sympathetic,
sense of
yeah.
humor behind him. He was a fleshed-out person.
I agree. I was a diehard Assassin's Creed 2 fan, and then 4 really turned it around for me. After just what I thought the abysmal 3 was, 4 saved the franchise and kind of like, okay, I'll keep buying these.
But what didn't you like about 3 besides the mechanics? Was it just like you just?
Oh, the
didn't
story,
care?
I think, is at the end is awful. I think it's so bad.
What happens at the end again?
Well, he kills his dad, but that's not the final throwdown. It's the other dude, and it's like they're just sitting there. I just hate it.
Yeah,
I think it's
okay,
stupid
yeah,
and
yeah,
convoluted and retarded. And they make you do stupid missions at the end of that game, like just chase the guy, but you don't really do anything, and it's just like no, you don't. I just got so, and all this other stuff that they make you do in the story doesn't really tie into the game at all. Whereas like in 4, at least the ship and the stuff you do ties into the story. Like, oh, why do I need to have this plantation and have these guys be lumberjacks? It's like, what? I don't need to upgrade my ship because the ship isn't even really that important to the story of the game, you know? It's like irrelevant. It's just like a whole bunch, they just shoved a potpourri of stuff together, and then it was glitchy. So glitchy. I can't believe it didn't glitch. I don't know. Maybe it's Xbox versus PS3 there.
Man, I didn't realize how fired up you were about.
Well,
Assassin's Creed
I
3.
wouldn't be if I bought it for $20.
Oh, okay.
But I bought it for $60, and that shit should work.
Yeah.
All right. So
Okay.
as we close it down here, what are things, Jerry? We'll start with you. Things you'd like to see from Unity or from the series in the future, coming forward.
Well, in Unity, I am kind of scared about it. I don't know all the details, but it sounds like you're going to be able to customize who your character is versus them giving you a character to like.
Just not.
So I
tits
don't,
and-
I don't know how that's going to work.
That's all.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. I would like to see the battle system enhanced to actually be
Right.
fun. Yeah, they add more death animations with your knife blades and all that stuff, and aerial assassinations, but the core battle mechanics
Right.
just need to be solidified,
Right.
more sound.
You want something more flowing like Batman.
Yeah, well, maybe a little easier to get. Yeah, maybe I just don't understand the battle system,
I don't
but
know. I
every
think it's
single
pretty
game of theirs
straightforward.
I've played, I've always been really, really terrible at the battles.
I just feel like it's just not that good. I mean, it's not a difficult battle system. I mean, Batman's isn't that difficult, really.
No.
So, how about you, John? What do you want to see?
I think more customization, if anything. I mean, like what Jared said, you know, instead of being given a character, you create a character. Which, I mean, you talk about how you just feel like most of the characters in the Assassin's Creed series haven't been someone that you're more sympathetic to or that you identify with more. So if you were able to create your own character and even making more choices, instead of like a Mass Effect type of thing, having different branching storylines, or instead of always having to be the good and honorable assassin, instead you can be like, how about you give me a couple of bucks for like saving your life? How about you do that, huh?
For me, honestly, I kind of touched on it earlier. Just get rid of the present day stuff. Just don't make me play that stuff.
Yeah, no animus.
Yeah. Just don't. If you have to have story elements, just make it a cutscene and then get me back in the game. I don't want to deal with that, please, Ubisoft. Or if you're gonna do it, put your A team on it. Because at least they could probably come up with something interesting. Don't give money to this, lowly team of guys in the closet that, I don't know. Just, that's what I want to see.
Either fix or take away.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, that's Assassin's Creed. I'm sure we missed a bunch of stuff. I mean, we didn't talk about online, but I think online is actually really inventive and cool.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Jared, you should really check it out.
We'll see.
You would actually do really good at it. It's not like a hard thing to get good at. It's just kind of fun.
Sit on a bench and wait for somebody to walk by.
Cloak and dagger type of stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's Assassin's Creed. John, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
And we're gonna throw it out to Monty.
Hi, I'm Monty Wolf, and this is your Not a Gamer review. Today I'm reviewing Ragnarok's Odyssey Ace. It's a RPG. It was kind of fun that you can choose your gender and the way your face looks and your hairstyle and things like that. I don't know if those come standard in most RPGs now. I know that as a culture we've become so self-centered that we take quizzes all the time to find out which Golden Girl we are and which movie musical we would be. So I know that people are obsessed with creating that perfect character that looks just like them, or they think looks just like them for some reason. And so that stuff was fun. Yeah, I had big boobs, and because I would. I felt like it looked like it was coming from a few years ago. It didn't seem like something that would be out today. And it was one of those games where you can do your standard, cut and slash sort of thing, but then they did have some special powers, and I felt like some of them I didn't quite understand, and I've seen games where they pop out a little window and say, if you want to do this, press this and this and this, and they really didn't do that with this. I have watched some games that seemed more interesting than this. The world itself didn't seem very interesting, and I'm really not sure what the point of my quest was. Would I play it again? Probably not. Because I've definitely seen better games out there. Again, I've only seen them, I haven't played them, so, Can I say it was fun? I don't know. I cut up some animals and some mushroom creatures. So, I would have to say, to this game. And maybe stick to, games that are, while mainstream, still are better. Anyway, I'm Monty Wolf, and this has been your Not a Gamer review.
God, you're such a downer.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
All right, Monty, thank you for that Not a Gamer review. That game actually looked kind of interesting. Anyway, John Patrick Kelly, JPK, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Jared, as always, my co-host. Yeah, play us out.
Couch Co-op. Couch Co-op.
I think, well, that was 2 life bars.
Oh.